You know, I took a break because the Black Tusk came in here and destroyed my build lab. This is where I used to just come and sit back and look at things and just chat in my own mind and come up with ideas for builds. This was actually my room. I enjoyed this. This was my room. And then the Black Tusk came in and fucked it all up. And I've been gone for a while, and I came back because of just how bad the game has gotten. But now I'm seeing nothing but bullshit. Like builds coming out and everybody saying, oh, this here's best, this here's meta, oh, this is super slaps. And we're at this stage again with this game that's really old. And while builds can work, sitting here and saying that this is the best, I'm gonna break out these lies.
This town deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm gonna give it to him.
Now, I have to say something first.
I wish I was the monster you think I am.
But I swear to God, after seeing this stuff right here on YouTube, I'm not trying to interject myself onto this, but this right here is shit. Now, first of all, after seeing this build, it blew my mind. For one thing, a content creator bringing out a build like this where it's not even fucking maxed. You can see the rolls on this are not even maxed. The crit chance, the critical hit damages, the skill damages, everything's not even maxed. And not only that, it's missing actual damage. But you're gonna sit here and say to put on like vigilance onto your backpack. I'm gonna break down why there's one basic backpack talent that actually gives you the more damage, and why this build is utter shit through this video. Oh yeah, and before I do that, there's even blue attributes on this. So that's how you know it wasn't even built for what they stated. It's got blue attributes. If it's a skill damage, crit damage, yeah, it's missing it. And then we're going to look at these numbers, which they're kind of hard to see. But your gun for mid-range, which is where you get the crit chance and the critical hit damage, the 10 and 10, which would be basically evened out, hitting for about 470. Your turret's barely hitting for 150. Your drone's hitting for 95. I guarantee you the build I'm going to give you guys is going to give you more damage for your skills, and it's going to be pretty equal to this here's damage by having a little bit more red cores and more skill damage in the build. So let's get into it.
1, 2, 3.
So the doctor's in session. I guess a lot of people like to call me the build doctor. Now, I don't want to take that type of title. I really don't want it. I've had it in my comments multiple times, but we're going to break down why that build is just straight up trash. And then we're going to give you an actual good one, fully maxed out for what you guys want, because you want skill damage and you want crit chance damage, like this build right here. Now, a lot of people are like, well, this one here looks similar to like, what is that one called? The bro build or whatever on YouTube. Yeah, it's similar to it. I like this one because we typically run with a healer when we do legendaries. And I run with this right here, and there is another way you can run this. And all we have to do is trade off this Fenris and put on the Coyote's mask. Now, we get more damage when the NPC is closer to us, but once we hit that mid-range, that 15 meter, it literally hits for the same. So rather than trading that, we can actually give our skills a little bit more damage and our weapon more damage. We go with this. Now, a lot of people go, well, why aren't you using the perfect glass cannon then? You can get a little bit more damage out. It's mediocre. We're only talking basically just for the skill damage, just about 100 bullets more for having the perfect. And we've already got the perfect crit chance and crit damage. We've got 50% and 123. That's all you need, because you actually have 3 red cores on this build versus that one you had 1 red core. Now, the major part of this is the backpack talent. So we have to come over here, show you the library, because it's got a bunch of different backpack talents. Now, there's only about 3 or 4 that work, but Opportunistic. It is the best one. It gives your weapon and your skills the most damage, but because Capacitor is an AR, you won't get this unless you use like a Scorpio, or if you have a 612 or a shotgun, basically whatever shotgun you prefer within sync, you could actually get this to where your shotgun gets more damage and your skills get more damage because it just goes for the extra damage period. So your skills get damage and your weapon gets damaged because you're using a shotgun. So I have a custom M870, but the best one because of the reload speed is the 612. You get more damage out of a 612 within sync this way by using that. But the bad part is the damage to armor and the damage to targets that I cover do not affect your skills. So if you wanted to do that, you would basically put on like a Badger Tough like this right here with Opportunistic to get the more damage out for your skills and your weapon. But that also means you have to be up close and personal. Now, another one that you can do to give yourself a little bit more survivability or something like that, you could do a walker that we can use for whatever weapon you want, but having the setup because it gives 15. So if you have other teammates nearby, you could actually give them 15% of their weapon and skill damage at the same time. So you could literally put a Scorpio on, get 20% more out of that, plus the 15, and actually do more damage for your skills and bullets. But again, that means you have to be close enough for your crits to matter. Now, that's actually the strongest way to get that damage out for you. But the Capacitor is the best to boost up your skills and damage. So you can't pass up the Capacitor either. So if you don't want to use the Opportunistic version, you basically put this version on right here with the Fenris mask. Or if you're going to use the 612 like that, again, you could use a Badger Tough backpack. Now, with this, we could actually show that you can get a little bit more damage out just because of the critical hit damage with the Coyotes. But again, this is where it comes down to where a lot of people are sitting here saying, well, what about Vigilance? Or why are you using combined arms? You could use tech support if you wanted to, but that means your skills have to get a kill. Versus this, since you're shooting your weapon, you can instantly get that. But the moment you take damage, Vigilance is gone. You have no extra weapon damage. So using your weapon to get damage for your skills and having glass cannon is the better choice. But again, Opportunistic with a Scorpio shotgun is the strongest, so that way you and your other teammates nearby could actually get that damage. Because again, I'll say it one more time, Vigilance, you get shot, you lose it. So here we go. We're going to show you guys the best one that you can have, which would give you instantaneous damage versus using like a Memento backpack to get up stacks. Now you can have a Coyotes mask versus a Fenris mask, since those are going to be your two main weapons, is your main weapon of the Capacitor. Now we have extra skill tiers and weapon cores, as you can see. But in here, I have to break this down. If you have crit chance here, put critical hit damage on the other. Basically, if you have crit chance on your build, put crit damage mod in. Now on my gloves, I have crit chance and crit chance right here. So as you see, the Picaro's holster has critical hit damage. So we're just trading off this, and we have an extra bit of crit chance right here on that. And that's how we have the 50 and 123. Now we'll show the Coyotes mask, how we can get a little bit more damage out of it that way as well. So right here, we're hitting for about 419. We'll say 420, 420. We'll say 420, just round it up. And our drone is hitting for about 158. That's really good for a drone. That is really good for a drone. So we're going to get rid of the drone, and we're going to see what the turret hits for. Turret is 254. 254, yeah. And for, I guess, we could show the weapon. I think we got the weapon already in there. Let's show, yeah, let's do the weapon. Was it 420? Yeah, we'll say 420 again. So we got the weapon of 420. We'll go to the Coyotes mask. We're going to switch on the Coyotes mask. Now you see we have this extra crit chance. And we have crit chance right here. And we got crit damage on the mask. So we're going to put on the crit damage mod to trade off that, so that way we get a little bit more critical hit damage out. And then when we hit a close target, we get an extra 25. So that's where this is going to boost it up. You get all the skill damage and you get the weapon damage out of this, because now we have 3 red cores and we have the crit chance and the critical hit damage to boot. So we're in for about 470. That's with the health. Let's shoot it again. Let's get rid of it. Yeah, 470. Okay, so we're hitting for 470. Definitely more than 420. So if the target's farther away, 15 meters, this is where you get the 10% critical hit chance. So you have 60%, because we were at 50 before, and then we're hitting for 443. So our weapon is doing a little bit more damage this way versus the Fenris. But we traded off 10% skill damage, and that's it. So now our teammates can get those buffs because we have the Coyotes mask on. And there we go. So you could actually make this the exact same way as I have right here and put on Opportunistic and put on a Scorpio and then give them the extra 20 from the Scorpio. And you still get all this extra damage. Like seriously, this is a really good build to make versus trying to make it all about the crit chance and the critical hit damage and wasting it and getting an extra 60% or 10% incoming damage. So I'm going to say this right now. For those who want to make that type of build for the incursion, because people are telling you that skill builds are really good for the incursion, if you really want to do that, make this build. You'll have better damage. You'll have a better time. Though the glass cannon is going to eat you alive, even if you have a healer, if that's what you want, by all means, make this build. Enjoy it. Make whatever build you want. But the Division community seeing half-ass put together builds just to have a video out there for views and likes is just destroying the community, because you're giving people bullshit builds. You are literally giving them crap. And this is the type of shit that needs to stop. Either put your whole heart into it, your whole entire time into that build, or don't do it at all.